Corey Richens, author accused of offing her husband, tried changing life insurance policy. So this is kind of like potentially, allegedly, an insane way to make some serious cash. So the Utah woman accused of killing her husband by serving him a fentanyl-laced Moscow mule, then authoring a children's book about grief, had tried changing his life insurance policy to make herself a beneficiary, records show. Corey Richens, 33, allegedly tried to name herself the beneficiary of her 39-year-old husband, Eric's life insurance policy instead of his sister shortly before his March 2022 death. However, the insurance firm alerted Eric to the change in time for him to reverse it, according to the outlet, which cited search warrant documents. That ain't good. Eric Richens, who shared three sons with Corey, who are all under 11, ultimately removed his wife from the will altogether, but never told her. Yeah, that seems like a little bit suspect, like something's going on in that marriage, obviously. So tensions have since flared between Richens and her husband's family. Richens allegedly assaulted her sister in law during a party she hosted just one day after Eric's death, where she was drinking and celebrating, according to previous reports. And both sides have spent the past several months in court over Eric's $3.6 million estate. I guess this is like another question, right? Is that enough for you to off your partner that you supposedly love? To like death do us part kind of thing? That seems pretty sad to me. Like, okay, you're gonna let a few dollar signs, not a few, I mean, this is obviously a lot, right? It's almost half of eight figures. But really? You're gonna let money be the reason why you potentially, allegedly off your partner? His family members, including the sister named Richens' beneficiary, told police Corey had an alleged history of violence and past attempts to poison Eric, so much so he had warned them if anything happened to him, she was to blame, the warrant reportedly states. See, my thing is, why stick with someone that has tried to poison you before? Allegedly, right? Like, what is it? What is her skill set, or what is special about her where you justify in your head, like, yeah, I'm gonna stick by her. Even though she tried to allegedly, poison me multiple times, I'm gonna stick by her. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Corey's accused of poisoning her husband with roughly 5 times the deadly dose of fentanyl inside the family's Kamas, Utah home on March 3rd, 2022. Police were called to the Willow Court home just after 3:20 a.m., March 4th, and arrived to find Richard's body on the floor at the foot of his bed, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. Corey Richards allegedly told police she and her husband were celebrating that night because she had sold a house. She made him a Moscow Mule vodka drink and brought it to him in their bedroom, court records show. Lord. She stated she went to bed and shortly after went to sleep with one of the children in the child's bedroom because that child was having a night terror, the document states. Richards told police she awoke around 3 a.m. and returned to her and her husband's bedroom. She felt Eric and he was cold to the touch. She went on to write a children's book about grief, Are You With Me?, which was released a year after Eric's death. And police later unearthed Richards' alleged connection to an accused drug dealer who admitted to selling her fentanyl pills, which she allegedly said she was buying for an investor who had a back injury. 2 weeks later, she allegedly asked the dealer for stronger fentanyl pills, some of the Michael Jackson stuff, the warrant states. And police said she placed two $900 orders for fentanyl pills. Wait, so how did she actually get this? What was that? So an accused drug dealer who admitted to selling her fentanyl pills. Like that's so crazy that you could just like have connection to a fentanyl drug dealer. Like what the heck? Investigators also discovered Richards lied about her cell phone use in the hours before she discovered his death, police said. And Richards had allegedly tried poisoning her husband in the past. Man, I feel bad for you, man. I hope you're resting in peace because that's sad. Eric Richards told a friend he thought Curie was trying to poison him after he got sick following a February 14th, 2022 Valentine's Day dinner at their home, the document states. He had a similar incident during an international trip years earlier, KUTV reported. The warrant reportedly states, according to his sister, Eric and his wife went to Greece a few years ago, and after his wife gave him a drink, he became violently ill and called his sister saying he believed his wife had tried to kill him. Richards had been charged with first-degree aggravated murder and multiple counts of second-degree possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute, records show, and she is due in court on May 19th. Let's see some of these comments. Why would he drink what she gave him after all the difficulties and the possibilities of her doing that? It's just heartbreaking. Females are very clever. Let's see, people listen up. If your spouse tries to change your insurance policy to make them the sole beneficiary, and the insurance company advises you of that, it is 100% certain they are going to try and kill you. Something this guy, for some reason, was totally oblivious to. A thing called love. I don't know if it's something called love. It might be something else. Because I think it's typically the saying is like what? The crazy ones are like the best in bed or something like that. And she is allegedly very crazy. After all those red flags, he stayed with her. Hey, that's my thought. I mean, like, why stay with her? The kids can visit her in prison now. Hey, just in time for Mother's Day 2. Pure evil. What a low life. This woman needs unjust punishment. The husband was the most clueless person in the world. If he thought she tried to kill him in Greece, why would he ever let her make his drink again? The thing is, if he believed that she was going to off him, or try to off him before, why on earth would you even stay in that relationship? It's one thing to be like, hey, I'm divorcing you. You gotta go see like some therapist or something. I still care about you, but we ain't together. We're not gonna be anything, etc. Why stay in a relationship that is potentially lethal to you or just plainly dangerous to you? Now, I obviously don't know the situation, but the reality is the husband is gone. The kids basically got no parents because the mom is potentially going to be found guilty of this. So now the kids are basically in a very bad position to where they might have to go with a family member that they really don't like or something. So that's going to be a whole big fiasco. But yeah, this is the thing. If you're in a marriage and your partner tries to change the beneficiary information without letting you know beforehand, something is up. Straight up. Now, it might not be something as crazy as this, but something's definitely going up. Like, something's definitely going on behind the scenes because people don't just do that without a specific reason, and typically a heinous reason.